it matters how you relate to yourself, because how you relate to yourself will affect how you relate to others. Now, the Word of God tells us that you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your mind, and with all your strength. So that is the foundation of true love or true relationship. Now, it starts first by how you relate to God, and then it trickles down to how you relate to yourself. How you relate to yourself is determined first by how you relate to the higher superior being, and that is God. Now, how you relate to others is also affected or impacted by how you relate to yourself. Now, let me give us an example. If you lie to yourself, then it is very easy to lie to others. If you're honest with yourself, then it creates a good foundation for you to be honest with others. So, how you relate to yourself is more important. So, that is why we should concentrate first on how we relate to God. Second, how we relate to ourselves. What you do alone is very important. What you do alone when no one is looking, when no one is watching, when no one is supervising. Now that is where you present yourself. When you live as if God is your supervisor, then that means you don't need a man to supervise you. It means that you have submitted yourself first to God. So it will be very easy for you to be under a man. So if you are honest with yourself, then it is easier to be honest with others. That is why you work on yourself. How do you do that? You work on yourself by being in the Word of God. You work on yourself by being in the place of prayer. Prayer itself is a relationship with yourself. Now, it is not every time you are praying, you are speaking to God. Now, there are most cases you are not just speaking to God, you're speaking to yourself. Now, the writer of Psalms says something very powerful. He talks about, be quiet, O my soul. Why are you disquieted within me? Hope in God. Now, in that case, he is not praying to God. He is relating with himself. Not every time people pray, speak to God. So that is why sometimes you must listen carefully to what you're praying, because sometimes you're speaking to yourself. You're relating with yourself. So prayer brings healing between you and yourself. That is why in most cases you will find yourself speaking to yourself. So it takes discernment for you to know when you are speaking to yourself and when you're speaking to God. So how we relate to ourselves really matter. It determines how we relate to others. If you respect yourself, it is easier to respect others. So shalom and God bless you.